Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Glue Clear. It locks into place and it holds on tight. And it even works underwater. We took all these parts and flex glued them together. The Flex Glue Monster 4x4.
It's been a bit since release at this point, but I'll still preface that this video doesn't have very many spoilers. Mostly unspoilery. Definitely no major story spoilers or anything like that. I mean, I personally haven't even gotten that far into the story. Mostly I've been busy exploring, running around, and helping this President Hudson simp hold his sign up for the 15th time. The game starts and we're on a date with Zelda in some underground cave beneath Hyrule Castle. She takes the Pura Pad, aka the PP, takes a few spicy pics with it.
You pointed and clicked.
Link is hot.
Then they meet some zombie who glooms all over the place, breaks the Master Sword, Link's arm falls off, Zelda pieces out in some poof of gold, and Link gets drugged into heaven against his will. Now he needs a haircut and a fingernail trim, but instead of doing that, what a hassle! He'd rather just end it all! Whee! That hurt. But aw man, he's not dead! So he goes and meets a ghost who tells him to go find some shrines so he can learn some cool magic tricks. Sound familiar? Nah, this time it's different. This time the ghost is a furry, and he wants to see your pee-pee. But Link doesn't like that, so he jumps off the cliff again.
I am gonna die! I'm gonna die! I'm gonna fucking die!
But if you thought the sexual harassment ended there, ho ho ho! And the harassment doesn't end there either. It continues with me harassing you with great deals on items straight from Japan. Like these super cool Tears of the Kingdom gummies, for example. Using my sponsor, BotW. I've talked about BotW a lot on my channel before, and I'm more than happy to do it again because it is the best way for people living outside of Japan to buy stuff from inside of Japan on Japanese websites. Websites like Mercari, Japanese Amazon, Japanese eBay, Rakuten, Yahoo Japan Shopping. If, like me, you're a fan of a lot of Japanese companies like Nintendo, it can be pretty frustrating that they release really cool merch for their products that only releases in Japan and never sees the light of day anywhere else. But with BotW, you can buy that stuff because BotW allows you to purchase things on Japanese websites. Or more specifically, BotW will purchase it for you, ship it to their warehouses, and then ship it to you. You can shop from various websites right off the BotW platform if you like, or you can easily use the BotW plugin if you want to shop on some website like Japanese Amazon. I swear I find tons of crazy cool toys and stuff on here every single time I go on. Like this Mario Racetrack toy. I did a video of this on my Peebs channel a little while ago. This thing is super cool and I swear I've never seen it anywhere in the US. And look at this, a freaking Breath of the Wild alarm clock? I actually really want this. Just install the add-on, click on the plugins button on my browser, and add it to my BotW cart, and BAM! It's that easy. Now I can get woken up by Zelda every morning.
Wake up, Link.
Thanks to BotW for sponsoring. I have a hot take. Tears of the Kingdom's pretty good. Please don't flame me too much in the comments. Please like the video, save me from the inevitable ratio. I've been having an absolute blast playing this game. I don't even want to know how much time I've lost to it. I'm not going to check. I've been having so much fun that I was having trouble focusing on even getting this video done. I wanted to have it done like at least a week ago, but you know. I was busy, okay? I think it's a huge improvement on Breath of the Wild. I mean, does Link hum different Zelda songs when he cooks in Breath of the Wild? No, he doesn't. So, I'm just gonna have to like, alright, there we go. I don't even think that's a very hot take at this point, which is kind of funny. In hindsight, there was a lot of talk about how Tears of the Kingdom was just gonna be Breath of the Wild 1.5. Well, I mean, yeah. It basically is, but in a good way. I mean, Mario Galaxy 2 was just Mario Galaxy 1.5, and I mean, everybody loves that game. What's so bad about more of a good thing, you know? Not much, apparently. If you liked Breath of the Wild, you're gonna like Tears of the Kingdom, which I guess kind of goes the opposite way as well. If you didn't like Breath of the Wild, I have a hard time imagining that the improvements are gonna sell you on Tears of the Kingdom, if I'm being honest. Well, we can get more into that later. We've got new abilities. There's Ascend, which allows you to go up through any surface directly above you and come out the other side. And then there's Recall, which allows you to reverse or rewind an object. Both of these seem like the least helpful ones at first, but they're sneakily useful with a little bit of ingenuity. Unfortunately, I don't really have any of that. Playing this game has kind of convinced me that I'm all a little bit dumb. I think it's finally time to admit it. Next, there's Fuse, which allows you to create new weapons or shields by combining them with basically any item or object in the game, including but not limited to a bridge. Yes, you could put a piece of a freaking bridge on your shield. Huh. Okay. I don't even have anything to say about this. It's completely ridiculous. You can create some simple but useful things like rock hammers or axes with sharp stones to cut down trees, which, trust me, you're gonna need to. You cannot let your guard down around trees. If you know, you know. I'd never been afraid of standing next to a tree before until I played this game. I mean, that actually kind of startled me the first time. I wasn't really paying attention. Better just cut them all down to be safe. I'm going full Saruman on their asses.
Let them all down.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's for the safety of the children. Just trust me, okay? Eventually, you'll be able to make some super powerful weapons with drops from stronger enemies. But of course, if you're just starting out, you're not gonna be able to get your hands on some of the stronger stuff, so I've compiled for you a few budget options. Number 1, spiked iron balls. You can find a couple of these in areas near Lookout Landing. How Link can stand up straight while wearing them, though, is beyond me. But this thing slaps early game enemies.
Surprise, mother.
Number 2, Board Guster. This thing may not look like much, but it's surprisingly overpowered. No enemy, small or large, can do anything against you. They're completely perma-stunned by the Guster's mighty blow. Oh, shit. Number 3, fire weapons. Number 4, rocket shields. I'm never climbing again. Moblin Guts Bat. That pulsating right there, that's how you know it's powerful. Take this, idiot kid.
Stop! You violated the law.
Okay, maybe not that one. I don't think it actually does anything. But definitely this one. Bomb barrel weapons. Nah, but for real, I crunched hard on the explosives early in the game. Don't mess with me. I've got stockpiles and I'm not afraid to use them. Oops. And last but not least of the new power-ups, there's Ultra Hand, which I guess is a reference to the old Nintendo grabby toy from the 1960s. I saw an article online that said Tears of the Kingdom will, quote, make you feel like a genius. Yeah. Can't relate. I've seen other people do some pretty insane things with the Ultra Hand. Like, I'm talking huge brain stuff. Some of it's so nuts, I'm not even sure Nintendo themselves would have thought of it. I'd show you guys some of my own awesome Ultra Hand creations if I had any of those. No, seriously, I don't think I've ever played a game that made me feel this stupid and uncreative, especially when I'm like, looking at all this stuff people are making on the internet. Let's see how this goes. Oh. Oops. Don't get me wrong, I love the game, but at heart, you know, I'm still more of a Wind Waker Majora's Mask kind of guy, and there are some puzzles and stuff in those games. But at no point in those games where I ever able to make a giant penis man. I thought some of the stuff I had was okay until I, you know, stopped avoiding spoilers, went on the internet and saw the giant penis man. At that point, I realized I'm just not that good at this game. Behold, the safest bridge ever built. What even just happened? It took damage from that and then I fell and died? I'm actually not sure. Ah, shoot! I almost forgot the best ability in Tears of the Kingdom! Amiibo!
That really
hurt.
Remember all the way back when I said, well, we can get more into that later. Me neither. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I also wasn't worried that it was just gonna be Breath of the Wild 1.5 at least a little bit. I mean, apparently even Nintendo was concerned about that perception because they did that last minute Nintendo Direct thing, which for some reason, one of the things they decided to show off was just fusing a mushroom onto a shield. Yeah, I've never done that in the game. I'm not really sure why they went with that one, but I think it's pretty safe to say that for most people, those worries have been put to rest at this point. Sure, the entire layout of Hyrule is essentially a copy-paste of the original game, but there's a lot of changes made. My personal favorite being the giant boulders that could smash and kill you at any second. Jesus. Plus, you can now use the Ultra Hand to create literal vehicles to help you traverse Hyrule, so that's pretty cool. And on top of that, there is, of course, the islands in the sky, as well as an entire new area below Hyrule referred to as the Depths. The Sky Islands are probably the part of the game I've explored the least of so far, if I'm being honest. I'm really excited to explore them further after finishing this video. I want to see what the heck those giant cubes in the sky are. Until I actually go in there, I'm just gonna assume that Link is gonna get split into a bunch of pieces with lasers like in that old movie The Cube from 1997. I mean, they already have some of the lasers in the shrine, so they're halfway there already. Frankly, I think I'm gonna be disappointed if that doesn't happen at this point. So far, I've mostly just been to the little, peaceful, beautiful islands, completely untouched by man. And then I cut down all their trees! What? I did it for the children! I need to get firewood for the cold little birdies, okay? What I've done a lot more of is explore the depths. But I did actually play for a decent amount before I built up the courage to do that. When I first started, right after the intro, I went up to this pit and saw this guy standing over it all freaked out. Move out of the way, idiot! YOLO! It did not end well. Look, I may or may not have forgotten that you don't start with the sailcloth in this game. After that traumatic experience, I figured I'd explore this whole depths thing later on. I didn't get around to it until way further in the game. I even beat an entire dungeon before going down there. I had to fill all my stamina meters first. It's my #1 priority. You know, that and protecting the children. I'm well known for caring about the video game children. Take this, idiot kid! But you really should explore the depths as early as possible so you can farm up a bunch of zonite so you can turn that into crystallized charges, which you can use to upgrade your energy cell. I say that like I know what I'm talking about. It took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out how the entire zonite system worked. For most of the game, I was just throwing everything into these giant gumball gotcha machines because I'm a gambling addict. How many portable cooking pots does one man need? As many as I can get. Not only can you get a bunch of useful materials in the depths, you can also find a bunch of treasure chests with genuinely cool weapons and armor, a lot of them being throwbacks to previous Zelda games. But all the useful stuff aside, just exploring the depths is some of the most fun I've had in Tears of the Kingdom so far. It's super creepy and eerie. Parts of it almost feel like you're exploring the depths of the ocean. Some areas even reminded me of Subnautica, especially when you're flying in a vehicle. A small portion of my brain is permanently dedicated to scanning at all times for any signs of Reaper Leviathans. Tears of the Kingdom improved a lot on the Breath of the Wild formula, but there's still a few things that didn't change that I kinda wish did. #1 being the shrines. I don't hate the shrines. I mean, sometimes they're fun, other times... Seriously, what the f am I supposed to do with this shit? But mostly, I'm just sick of the stone, future-y aesthetic. And oh my god, why does the end of every shrine have to take so long? Couldn't they just do this text on the first shrine and not every single one? I mean, why can't you just get to the end and go, but I don't know, and be done with it? But no, we gotta talk to these weirdos and go, oh, hey, guys, thanks for visiting the shrine. We really hate evil, and we really love telling you you did a super good job there, buddy. So we're gonna offer you this thing that helps you do the thing with the guy that prays. You can fill up your green circles, and then they sploosh light all over you. Then they say some other stupid thing, and then they get crushed. I mean, even Nintendo knew it took too long because they added a skip button. But I mean, if it takes so long that you have to skip it, why do they even do it in the first place? I mean, it doesn't really matter. But apparently it matters enough for me to rant about it, because I just did. Also, the Koroks! Oh no. Oh no. No! 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 They're back. But on the positive side, you can torture them. No!
I thought I was being cruel by slapping them onto my horse's towing harness and dragging them around, but other people have gone way further with it.
The internet has become obsessed with torturing these poor little innocent defenseless guys. And you know, I'm kind of here for it. If anything, I'm disappointed that I didn't come up with some of these.
The one benefit of the Korok seeds being back is the new Hetsu song that plays when you upgrade your weapon stash. I freaking love this song. I need a 10-hour version of this on YouTube ASAP.
Someone please get on that for me. Thank you. But there's also some new stuff, like caves. You guys like caves, don't you?
Visit some of our local cave systems located all across Hyrule. Check out our local ceiling monkeys in their natural habitat. Gather resources for your journey. Take a gander at our beautiful, majestic ancient frog spirits.
Sorry, Mr. Ancient Spirit. I really needed your booba gem.
But there's even some stuff from previous Zelda games that wasn't in Breath of the Wild. Anything from little stuff like bomb flowers being back, to huge returns like classic dungeons. They're back, baby!
Well, sort of anyways.
They're certainly closer to the original 3D dungeon style than the Divine Beasts anyway. All the puzzles in each dungeon are designed specifically around your partner's ability, which is more aligned with the old school dungeons. Plus, unique bosses are back. No more Shadowgen in number 3. There are actual bosses, and they're some of the more memorable and fun parts of the game. Even some classic Zelda enemies make a return. First, there's Likes, looking a bit more disturbing than in previous entries, I have to say. Especially the rock ones. They kinda look a little bit like a poopy colon.
What the hell is even that?
Then there's Gibdo. At first they were super scary, but then I realized they were weak to elemental damage and they were no big deal. Then I saw one crawling at me, and then they were scary again. But even Gibdo are nothing compared to the Floor Masters. The first time I ran into these things, I just about had a heart attack. Oh shoot! Though apparently they're not called Floor Masters, they're called Gloom Hands? But I mean, come on, they're Floor Masters.
Then there's the most terrifying enemy in the entire game as far as I can tell so far, Gleeox.
Get my necklace back from Gleeok, okay?
Sorry, I died.
I haven't done all of the dungeons yet. Like I said, I still haven't done that much exploring in the sky, all things considered. But I have really enjoyed my time with Tears of the Kingdom so far, and I'm super excited to try out more stuff. And even though I was super stoked for the game, I was kind of caught off guard with how much more I enjoyed it than when I first played Breath of the Wild. There's just so many different improvements. The Ultra Hand alone adds so many different things you can do. Tons of hijinks. Even fusing different weapon types has been a lot of fun. I felt really attached to every single weapon that I have because I made it. It was me that did it. I put the Bukama guts on that thing. That was me that did that. But probably my favorite improvement is just the combat. Despite recognizing that the combat in Breath of the Wild, as I've mentioned many times before on this channel, is really good, I personally just didn't really care that much about it. In Breath of the Wild, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just not creative enough, but I approach every battle in like the same way every freaking time. Whereas in Tears of the Kingdom, there's so many different things you can do now, so many different types of weapons you can make, items you can throw, attach to your arrows, etc. There's just so many different ways you can approach each combat scenario.
But even with all that, I still mostly just use explosives.